Back on Inside Tennessee, my colleague John North, John Becker, recapping the election results from Super Tuesday. Again, we are taping this broadcast without knowing the results of two of those races that are decided on Friday morning by some provisional ballots, and that will have happened by the time this airs, John.
There are 71, I think, 71 provisional ballots on the property assessor.
Sort of thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, and I don't know how many. There are not many in that District 1, where it's a 5-vote margin.
You've made the point, Susan, before that name recognition does matter, and we saw that carry some of these races.
I think there's no question about it. Name ID matters. Phil Ballard, there's no question he had more name ID than Jackie Raley. I mean, he's been county commission. He was served as property assessor before, and he did run a lot of television commercials and spent a lot of money. You said $79,000.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference. I think Garrett Holt in another race had more name ID because he has run before.
We had
Terry Hill
won.
Terry Hill
County Commission.
been on the ballot.
We had a Wright on the ballot, and Dave Wright's well thought of out south. And one exception,
where that doesn't hold up is District 8, the county commission race. Among the Republicans, 3 candidates, including DJ Corcoran, who's widely known.
Spent a lot of airtime, got as much TV as you do, John, and a spokesperson for the fire department, and back in the day, and he didn't win. It was close, but didn't win.
I'd throw out another one, and that's Evelyn Gill, who was running against Damon Rawls and the
Evelyn
Democratic.
Gill might be an understandable anomaly, though, because there were a lot of people, both sides of the fence, that didn't get along with Evelyn, and Evelyn didn't get along with, and she got beat as an incumbent by Dasha Lundy some 4 years ago, I guess, and Dasha decides not to run, and Dasha does not endorse her when Evelyn runs again, and I'm not surprised by that one, even though a lot of people do know who Evelyn Gill is.
Well, sometimes your name ID can be negative, and that is not a positive for you if you're running.
So, John, what should people look for as far as issues that you think may shape the August election when we look at county commissions specifically?
Well, we talked a little about this off camera. Growth and infrastructure are huge issues for Knox County right now. Some people are kind of alarmed because we have to talk about long-term planning, and they're a little nervous about what that means for them, their neighborhoods, and their part of town. And there really is no part of Knox County that isn't going to be affected. So we know out west, southwest Knox County, Farragut, that is an enormous issue. Growth is huge, and some of the people who have done very well politically are those that are like, we need to control it, we need to stop, it's getting out of control, we need to do more, and infrastructure is lacking. So it's a big
right
deal.
Into that, though, is the age-old question of property taxes. Because coming with growth and infrastructure, you have to have money on the front end, even if maybe taxes will support it on the back end once things are built and once they're done. But what are you going to do in the interim? And we're not going to fund everything with TIFs, with other monies. And we have not had a property tax increase since before Tim Burchett as mayor, not congressman. And so I think that's going to be a hotter topic than it's been in a while.
And we are also now in an era where sort of the gravy is off the steak, if you will, or the meatloaf. It's just the meatloaf, and you can't. Our great times when we were fat with cash and revenue, they're not so great anymore. Things are lean.
We're going to teach you what you put gravy on the right way here in the South, John. That's okay.
Alluding to this growth policy plan that has passed county commission, it passed city council this weekend. The aldermen in Farragut will have to pass it as well for it to move forward. But it may be issue may be moot by the time we get to August. So how might a candidate who is anti that plan, which we did hear Adam Thompson, who's a longtime generational farmer in District 8, how does he still make that case if the chicken is baked?
Well, I can say if it depends on the outcome, but if it's defeated, he can take credit for it, right? And can be one of those guys that I helped fight to keep our pastures greener. If he doesn't, he can say, I tried.
Well, and remember, 8 is largely rural. I mean, you're talking about the Carter-Gibbs community, deep East Knox County. It also, while this plan may be through, there's still some flexibility in when things get done. And, so maybe the chicken's baked, but maybe you don't have to turn that oven on right away and give the community some time to adapt and evolve.
I would agree with that, and I would say, as a politician, they're all like, That's fine. Your plan is fine, but we're the ones that get to vote on the project.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly appreciate you staying with us on Sunday morning and hope you appreciated this recap from our panelists. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Don. And as always, my colleague John North and I hope to see you next week on Inside Tennessee. If you have any feedback or any stories or issues you'd like us to cover, please reach out to us directly. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend.